Well, the theme group for this week of Lost is the ungrateful, which again seems sort of natural, except that we've seen in this encounter of Jesus with the 10 lepers that it's only imaginable that all 10 were thoroughly grateful. The difference is that the Samaritan's gratitude led to faith. He was not only healed, made well, but he was saved. The other 9, surely full of thanks, seem to be more focused on the gift rather than the giver. And yet the reaction of the 9 is not all that common. Even today, when we hear so much about the rise of unbelief, when the pressure's really on, people instinctively look beyond themselves. They'll instinctively pray in desperate times. The old saying from the military is, there are no atheists in foxholes. When the bombs are dropping, everybody is praying. And part of that, too, is that people will often make sincere promises in their desperation. Lord, if only you'll save me, then I will, I promise, forever. And yet, how often does that commitment fade once relief comes? We're grateful for what we've received, and yet we're not always grateful to the giver in a lasting way. It's the nature of sin to focus on ourselves, on what we need, on what we receive, rather than the one who provides it to us. So how do gratitude and faith connect in your life? Do we turn back to Jesus, as the Samaritan did, not only with gratitude, but also with faith? What is the difference between being made well and being saved? And how do we carry that forward in our lives so that our faith doesn't recede, our promises don't fade once relief comes? And yet, as with all these texts, amidst those calls to self-examination, to focus on Christ as our Savior, as the giver of all good things, to fill our hearts both with gratitude and faith in Him, it's so important to recognize that this text too is just larded with promise and with grace. We must not forget that Jesus healed all 10 lepers unconditionally, responding simply to their dire need. And so He does for our needs as well. The Lord provides for us, He forgives us, He saves us, He grants us healing and restoration simply out of His great love for us. There's nothing conditional about that. The call instead is for us to recognize Christ as the giver of all good things, as our healer and our Savior. And to make sure that both our trust and our thanks are directed always to Him.